Hello, Jeremy from Online Course Igniter, and I wanted to create this quick video to teach you how to create an online course in 2022. Now, the online education business has been booming for years, and it's projected to just continually grow throughout the next decades and into the future. And so it is a great time to create an online course, and it just helps to educate people, to get your information into the hands of others, and it helps you as a business owner to create some financial freedom and to reach more people on a global audience that you might not have been able to get to before. Now, you might be selling an online course as a standalone product. Maybe you just want to have your own education business, or maybe you want to supplement your business. Maybe you have a gym and you would like to have some online trainings to go with your gym membership so that people can take their workouts at home when they're not at your gym. And so I'm going to give you some of the basic ideas that you want to think about when you create an online course. Now, I've been doing this for about 8 years now, and a lot has changed in the past couple years. So I thought it would be beneficial to create an updated video for you for 2022 and show you how I would go about creating an online course based on all the different knowledge that I have learned throughout the years. So the first thing that you want to do, and what I really recommend for anyone, is to always begin with the audience, to begin with the people that you are trying to help. And after interviewing many people on the Online Course Igniter podcast, this is something that has been said repeatedly over and over again. That the main mistake that most people make when they go to create any kind of online business really is that they go and they create the product or the service or the online course first, and then they go try to find the people to sell it to. And that is the complete backwards way of going about creating an online course or any kind of business for that matter. You want to start with the person, and in this case, it would be your ideal student. So who is the best person that you would like to teach? Who is that person who is sitting there and you have a skill and expertise of something that you would like to train or teach them on, and you want to think about that person. Where are they at? What are they struggling with? What do they need help with? And how can you help them with your online course? What is it going to do for them? How is it going to get them to the next level? How is it going to advance their career? How is it going to make them healthier, wealthier, or to have better relationships? You want to start with this person in mind. Once you have an idea of this person, you want to go out and try to find out where these people are hanging out. It could be online, such as a Facebook group or in blogs or even on YouTube, or maybe it could be offline. Maybe they're going to meetups or conferences, or maybe there's some type of events that happen in the community where your ideal students are congregating. So what you want to do is you want to figure that out, and you want to go into these places and you want to start looking at the conversations that your ideal student is having. They're asking questions, they're stuck with a problem, and so what you want to do is you want to figure out what questions are they asking that you can help them with, and we're going to provide that information in the online course and in our marketing material. So take notes, ask questions, have conversations with these people, and really get to know them. As you begin getting to know them and asking them questions, you will soon begin building your authority. You will build relationships with these people. And as you do, you will gain their trust. You will show them that you have the knowledge to help them with what they need help with. And so you want to start this process early on. Now, again, as I said, most people go about this the backwards way. They create the course first, and then they go try to find the people to sell to. And if you do that, you're setting yourself up for disaster. So what you really want to do is you want to go find the people first and then craft the perfect program, the perfect online course or educational business around the people that you want to help. Now, secondly, you will want to start thinking about the topic that you would like to teach. This is basically going to be around the person that you were looking for, your ideal student, and you probably already have in mind a topic that you want to teach. But there's an old saying that says the riches are in the niches. And basically what that means is we want to niche down. We want to take that information further down so that we can help people on a very specific level. To say that you're going to help someone with their health or their fitness is very vague and very general. And so the more niche that we can get, the more you can tailor that down and to talk to one specific type of people, the better chance that you're going to have in marketing and selling your online course. And so you want to start thinking less general categories and drilling it down more and more. So if we're talking about fitness, what are we trying to do for that person? Is it to get them to be healthier? Are they trying to run marathons? Are they trying to lose weight? Are they trying to build muscle mass? Are they trying to look better for their dates or their relationships? Asking these questions will really help niche down what it is that you're trying to help them with. And as you do that, we want to take it down further and further and further. And the further down we go, the better chance you're going to have in selling your course. So let's say that someone is trying to lose weight. Well, there's a lot of different ways that you can lose weight. You can do cardio, you can ride bikes, you can even lift weights to lose weight. So there's a lot of different ways to go about this. And you want to think about that. You want to think about, okay, so we know we're in the fitness industry. We know we want to help people lose weight. And how are we going to help people lose weight? Maybe it's through a dance program, one of these programs that you attend or go to a class to or you watch on TV. Maybe that's your thing where you do these dance routines and it helps people energize their cardio and help them lose weight by burning calories. Okay, great. So we're getting more fine-tuned. Let's take it even further. What kind of person would want this? Are we talking about single men or men in relationships? Are we talking about single women or women in relationships? Are we talking about single moms? Are we talking about moms who have families, moms who have kids? That's important to know because the better that we understand that person, the more that we can help them. So someone who is single and doing these dance routines so that they can look good and go out and get a date is very different from the person who has a family of 4 and who may have just had a baby and they're trying to lose some of that post-pregnancy weight. It's a very different type of person. And the more that we understand this person, the more we niche this down, the better chance of success that you're going to see. So what kind of person is that? You want to think long and hard about this. Next, you will want to work on validating this course topic idea. So it's one thing to think that we have the greatest idea in the world and that we're going to help people, but what you really need to do is you need to go out into the market and see if it's something that people are truly interested in. Now, there's a couple different ways that you can do this. I usually start with some basic research. You can go on websites like Amazon, you can look for blogs on Google, or you can go to other online course platforms. Udemy is a famous course marketplace that has thousands of online courses. And if you can go on that platform and look around and see what people are teaching based on the subject that you have chosen, you will get a good understanding if it's a good topic or not. You can look to see if there's other courses based on this topic already. And if you're looking on websites like Amazon or Udemy, usually these products have a review section that you can go and do some research in. That means you can go into these reviews, you can see what people like, what people don't like, and that will help you craft a better course. Now, if you are finding that there is no information on this subject whatsoever, it could be a good thing in the sense that you might be one of the first to come to it, but generally it means that no one is looking for that information. So if you're not finding any blogs or forums or books or Facebook groups or YouTube channels or podcasts on the information that you want to teach, you may be too niche. You may have narrowed it down too much, or it just might not be something that people are searching for. So I always start with a little bit of general research to go through and make sure that this is something that people really want. Now, the next thing that you can do, and probably the best thing that you can do, is to pre-sell your online course before you even create it. I know this is a crazy thing, especially if you've never done it before. And when I first heard it, it was kind of very strange to me. Why would people want to buy something that hasn't been created yet? But that happens all the time. It's very often in very different products and services throughout the world that you will pay for something before that thing has been made. If you order a pizza, you give them money, cash up front, and then they go make the pizza and bring it to you. And you tell them the toppings that you want, you tell them the ingredients that you want to have on that pizza. And when they deliver it, it's exactly what you want to have. An online course is no different. You can actually get people to pay for your online course up front, and then you can build that course with the student, and it's a great experience for everyone around. First of all, you get a cash injection directly into your bank account, which means you can use those funds and that revenue to invest in better equipment or platforms or anything else, marketing that will help make your course a success. And also, you get students to help you build your course along the way. That means as you put out modules and as you put out the information, you can ask for feedback directly from those students, and they can tell you what they like and what they don't like. Now, on the students' end, they typically get a discount. So if you're going to pre-sell an online course, discount it for any price less than what you would normally sell it for. So if you're selling your course for, say, $100, maybe you're going to give it away for $50. Or if it's a $1,000 course, maybe you're going to give it away for $500. They get a great discount knowing that they're going to have lifetime access or some type of access to that course in the future. And the other benefit is they will have more direct connection with you as the instructor as you begin to build that course, because you're going to be asking them for feedback. So they're actually getting a little bit of coaching, a little bit of one-on-one time with you, because as you ask these questions, as you ask them how that you can make the course better, they are getting to ask you these questions. They're getting to understand it better, something that they might not get later on when you publish your online course and it's just static or evergreen out there on the marketplace. So it's a win-win for both parties. And this is the best way to validate an online course if you can pull it off, because what that means is if someone is willing to pay you for your course before you've created it, that means that you have hit a topic that is very popular and that people are looking for actively. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to do this. It's just one way that people do go about it. And it is a pretty neat idea to think about, but don't let it stop you. If you don't pre-sell your course, that's okay. Just continue to move forward. Now, the next thing you'll want to do is you want to start thinking about some of the aspects of your online course. So you want to think about the naming structure, the pricing structure, and the structure of what you're going to teach. So when naming your course, you want to keep it small and memorable. That way, if someone is going to tell their friends or family about your course, it's an easy name for them to remember and to repeat to others. This really helps whenever you have word of mouth sales going forward with your online course. When you're pricing your course, you want to think about not just what's included in the course, but you want to think about the overall transformation that you are going to help that person get to. So it doesn't matter if a course is 1 hour long or 10 hours long. What matters is the transformation that the ideal student will get from beginning to end. That means if I can teach you how to make $1 million, it doesn't matter if I teach you in 10 hours or 1 hour, you just want to make $1 million, right? Now, if I can teach you that information in 1 hour, you would pick that over a 10-hour course. So you want to keep your course succinct. You want to make sure that it's easy and that people can get the information and get the transformation as fast as possible. You got to remember, people aren't here to take your course. They're not here to waste time. They are here to learn about how they can get the transformation that they want to go through, whether that's losing weight, making more money, their relationships, learning how to bake, play an instrument, whatever it is. They're trying to get to an end point, and they don't want to spend a lot of time going through a bunch of unnecessary information that they don't need. So get them to that process as soon as possible, and then base your price off of that transformation. So if it's something small, it's not going to really help them a lot, maybe not advance their career or make a lot of money, then price your course at a lower price. But if you're teaching them how to do something dramatically different, such as maybe you're helping them save their divorce, or you're helping them get a new position in their career, or you're helping them make a lot of money, or you're helping them lose a lot of weight and have a total body transformation, then you can price your course at a higher price. So remember that the price isn't based on the information or the amount of downloadables that's in the course. It's based on the transformation that the person is going to get as they take that course. Then you want to start thinking about your course structure. This is where we need to start thinking about what we're actually going to teach. Now, if you started with your student in the beginning, like I recommended, that means you already have a great amount of information because you've been asking questions, you've been taking notes, and you've been paying attention to what it is your ideal student needs help with. So what you'll want to do is you want to be writing these things down. As you see questions, as you see any type of topics or help or blogs or anything that will help your ideal student, take those notes. Then we have all this information that we can compile into our online course. The best way that I like to go about it is to brainstorm. So I'll just write down every single thing that I can think about on a sheet of paper or some post-it notes and get it all out of my head. And then I'll reorganize that information into a logical sequence. So you got to think that you're taking someone from point A to point B, and you need to explain in an easy process how to get there. This is very easy if you're teaching cooking or baking because we have a recipe. So it's step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Or if you're giving someone directions in a car, you say, first go here and turn left, then go here and turn right. You'll want to do the same thing with your course. You want to think, what is the first thing that someone needs to do to get to that goal? What is the second thing they need to do? And then the third thing. And we put these into a logical, chronological order so that people have a step-by-step process to get through that information. Something else you'll want to consider is every single lesson that you create needs to have an end goal. There are too many courses out there that just go on and on forever, and they don't have an actual end to any of the information. They just go on from one to the next, and there's no a sense of accomplishment. So what I like to do is I like to include worksheets, quizzes, or any kind of task that I can have that student complete within each lesson so that they can feel a sense of accomplishment and that they're progressing through those steps. And so you'll want to make sure that every lesson that you create has a goal to it. It has a purpose, right? So that's something that you'll want to keep in mind when you create your course. Then we'll get into the production phase. You can script it if that makes you feel better, or you can just talk off the top of your head and edit later on. Generally, what I do is I have some notes, and I'll go and I'll read through my notes a couple times, make sure I understand what I'm talking about, and then I'll hop on the camera and I'll just start talking away. Now, I know my information pretty well, so it depends on the level of experience that you're teaching this topic. So if you know your information, you probably don't need to write every single word verbatim, and generally I tell people not to do that. It does help to script and have a general idea of what you want to say, but if you're trying to repeat every single word, it's never going to come out perfect. You're going to spend a lot of time editing. You're going to spend a lot of time writing that material out. And when you use a script, even if you have a teleprompter, unless you've practiced and you've become good at it, typically you sound very robotic. And so I like a very natural, easy flowing kind of conversation. And so I just have my notes here and I just go through and record the videos of what I want to say. Now, some equipment you'll want to think about getting would be, of course, you're going to need a camera if you're doing any type of talking heads like what this video is. This is a talking head. You see my head here, right? And so you'll need some kind of camera. You can use your smartphone. The smartphone cameras nowadays are superb, and that's actually what I'm using to record this video here. This is the iPhone 13, and so it has a great looking camera. Why use anything else? Now you can get other cameras. You can get webcams. You can get DSLRs, and I'll put some links to those in the description of this video so that you can go through and see some of the equipment that I recommend. But you'll want a camera. You'll want lighting. Now, if you can use natural lighting, it's usually the best kind of lighting because nothing is more powerful than the sun. So if you can get next to a window or you can be outside, you're going to have some great looking video. If you can't do that, you'll have to get some other external lighting. Maybe you can get a ring light or a 3-point lighting setup that you can use. However, don't get too bogged down with the equipment because I recommend people just to get going and get started and create their course, and you can always buy the fancy gear later on. Of course, you don't want it to look terrible, so you might want to invest into, ring lights are pretty nice. They have a nice soft glow to them, and it makes it look really good. But if you can get by a window, that helps out. You also want to have some type of way to record your audio. You can use the microphone, say from your phone. However, you're usually at a pretty far distance from that phone, and so it can sound far away and have some problems with the audio. If I were to recommend any kind of equipment outside of the camera, I would recommend a microphone. There are different microphones that you can get for your online course, and they all have different reasons that you would use them. But for instance, I'm using a talking head video right now, and I have a lavalier microphone right here. This is a little microphone that clips to me, and it allows me to be free and move my hands around and talk. You can also get what's called a shotgun microphone. It's a microphone that sits on the camera itself and points at your mouth. Those are great unless you need to move around a lot. So if you're doing baking or yoga or martial arts where you're moving a lot constantly, those microphones are not as good. You'll want something like a lavalier microphone. Again, I will link some of my favorite equipment in the description of this video. So you'll get your gear together and then you just want to start recording. Just try to be natural, have fun, be friendly. Don't turn on the camera and get stiff. You know, people can notice that, and you want to talk like you're talking to just one person. So as I'm recording this video, I'm thinking to myself, there's one person watching this video right now. There's not an audience. There's not a bunch of people. You are by yourself, most likely sitting in front of a computer or on your phone or on your tablet watching this video by yourself. And I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to a whole room full of people, right? So you want to think about that. Just imagine that you're having a conversation with your best friend, and what would you tell them to help them out? So if they're trying to lose weight and they're trying to do cardio or they're trying to dance and do fitness, how would you teach that? How would you explain it to them? How would you help them get to their goal? And that's all you really need to do. Just be nice and relaxed. And if you have to do it a couple times, multiple takes, that's okay. So you'll want to just go ahead and record your videos. And then you'll want to get those videos most likely onto your computer so that we can upload them to a hosting platform. Now, a platform is what hosts your online course. It's where people will actually go to make a payment, to buy your course, to see what's included, look at the curriculum, and it's where they will go into the course and they will watch the lessons, take the quizzes, get the assignments, and what have you. There are a lot of great platforms, and generally we talk about two types of platforms. One is a marketplace. Marketplaces like Udemy or Skillshare are types of places where you can take your content and upload it, and anyone can find that information through the marketplace. Think of it like Amazon. It's a place where people can go and type in information like, say, online marketing, and they can find a bunch of courses on online marketing. Marketplaces are great because the barrier to entry is generally pretty low, and it's easy to get set up. They usually do a lot of things for you and make it very easy. However, you have to keep in mind that you're going to be in competition with everyone else on the platform, and you are not going to have full control over the course experience. You are limited to that platform and their rules and regulations, whether it be pricing, how they control the students, how you're able to email them. There's a lot that goes into these marketplaces. The other type is a self-hosted platform. Now, these are not marketplaces. These are places that you're going to have to go out and promote yourself. So if someone doesn't come and find your course, you have to go tell people about your course. Now, there are a lot of self-hosted platforms that you can use, such as Teachable, Thinkific, Kajabi, Newzenler, ClickFunnels even lets you host courses, or LearnDash or Lifter LMS. There's a bunch of them. I typically like to recommend Thinkific if someone is just starting out. I'll put a link in the description and you can go and actually create one course for free and kind of kick the tires and test it out and see if it's the platform for you. However, I've used a lot of them and they're all really good. They all have their pluses and minuses. Now, the good things about having your own platform hosted by yourself is that you control everything. You control the pricing, you control the student experience, and you can really dictate how you want your course to go. The downfall of that, again, is that you will be doing the marketing yourself, and so you'll have to go out and promote your course and get it into the hands of others. Which brings us to promotional strategies or traffic strategies. And so once you have your course up on the platform, you filled out the descriptions, the images, the titles, your lessons, you get everything uploaded and published, you'll want to start promoting that course. Now, there are many different ways that you can go about getting people or traffic into your course. So the first is what we would call organic traffic. This is when people find your course naturally. That means that they are out there on the web somewhere and they see you, your course, or something along the way, and they come to you naturally without being, an ad put in front of them, which we'll talk about in just a second. So there are a bunch of different ways that you can do organic traffic. You can use social media. So you can use Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, any of these kind of social media platforms that allows you to make posts, Instagram, Pinterest. These are all great platforms where you can go out, build a following around your topic, and then promote that information outwards. You can also use SEO, so you can use things like YouTube or Google, places where people are going and typing in questions that evolve around your course topic. So if someone's going to YouTube and typing how to create an online course, you might come across this video, right? And so those are all organic methods of getting people into your course. Now, the other method is to use paid advertising. This is when people aren't really looking for you or finding you naturally. They're getting advertisements put in front of you to try to get you to click and go to that sales page. So there are Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Instagram ads, Google ads, but basically you are paying to have your ads put in front of people in the hopes that they click on those and go through and get to your course. So that is a lot of the basics of really how to get going with creating an online course. Is kind of the 10,000 foot overview of everything that happens that you will need to think about as you begin creating your course. My biggest takeaway that I can really give to you is to just start and to start simply. So the best thing that I could tell anyone is to just use what you have in front of you and to just get going. The online course business, the education business has a lot of different gears and maneuvers that are happening through it. And what you want to do is you want to go through the process so you can kind of see what it takes. After I built my first online course, all the other ones after that got easier and got better throughout time because I understood what was involved and what it takes. So my best piece of advice for you is to get started today, to go ahead and create your first online course and just get the ball rolling. And then along the way, I'm going to be publishing videos. I have the onlinecourseigniter.com website where I interview people on the podcast. I have blog posts, trainings, all these wonderful things to help you along your online course journey. But the best thing that you could do if you want to get started today is to join my free 14-day challenge, where I basically break down each one of these steps and give you a lot more information and a lot more details and even some homework and assignments on how to create your first online course. If that's something that you're interested in, then go to startyourfirstcourse.com or click the link in the description and you will be taken directly to a page where you can sign up and you'll start getting emails on a daily basis for 14 days to help you start your first online course. I look forward to what 2022 brings. Go ahead and take a moment to hit the subscribe button and turn on all notifications because I'm going to be posting a lot of training videos in this year and going forward. And I'm super excited for this year, for what it's going to bring and to help you with your educational business. Have a good day.